What we do here is go back.
Should be working? Yeah, okay. Make sure I unmuted myself. So welcome back. Today we're gonna finish up our She-Hulk bust. And yeah, we have it pretty much like 90% of the way there. But usually the last 10% can be the most tedious. So we obviously have to paint in her face. So we have like her eyes, her eyebrows, her eyelashes, her lips, and then maybe, you know, we're gonna do the hair. Obviously, some of it droops down onto her face, but we'll probably get that done in first. We're gonna come back with the limelight green, right? The original base green that we used. And we're going to use that to create some highlights on some areas, like right here, maybe on the top of her arms here, on her muscles, you know, maybe the top of her abs here. And we're just going to use that as a good way to add some highlights all the way around. Then we're going to come back in with some dark green with a brush. We're going to get a lot of this dark green, especially like in here. The tones don't really kind of match up correctly, so I'm just going to make sure that we get dark green, the phthalo green, all up in there. We'll let that dry, and then we'll come back and we'll highlight all this hair and finish up anything else. We also have to do the lettering on the bottom of the sculpture here, which that shouldn't be too hard, but I'm undecided if I want to do the whole 3D virtual letter, like the whole 3D letter here, like the sides as well, or if I just want to do the face of the letter, right? So just do like the face. I'm a little bit undecided of how I want to do that. I think doing just the face would stick out a lot. It would like make it super contrasty. But I feel like if we did them all the way to the inside, which would take a little bit more work, but I feel like it would have a more, I don't even know what's the word, but it would just look a little bit more, I don't even know what's the word I'm looking for there. Molded in or something? I don't know. What's up, Blue? How's it going? Hello. So yeah, that's where we're at today, and that's where we're gonna get done. So I'm gonna see it started. I think I'm actually gonna start with the dark green, and we'll get that in first, just so that this has a chance to dry before we start doing anything else. And that way, when we're done the light green, maybe we could come in here with the airbrush and also give it some nice toning and shading. We also have to come back with the gray still and hit the shadows, as well as a little bit of a light purple to hit some of the highlights on the purple, but we can do that as we go. So it's a little bit of work today, but it should look really good when we're done. I'm so excited. It's like it's almost there, almost so close. And everybody's probably at work. It's a Wednesday. They're at work or at sleep. And I don't have to go to work till later. So I'm all good. I'm trying to get this done so I could have it on my shelf and look at it while I'm working. So yeah, I'm going to take a brush here. And we have a nice soft bristle brush. It's a 6 brush, but it's a 6 like short. But it's kind of soft. It's soft but firm, right? So I'm gonna take this, and this should be good enough. And the light spots in here are gonna be okay. We're gonna come back in with a fine brush and really get that. But this area up in here, I just want to make sure that this is nice and green before I start putting light green in there, right? And I want to make sure it's nice and dark so that we can contrast it. And there's just a few spots here on the head I just want to make sure to get. And this is all glued together, so I can't take it apart anymore. It's one solid piece. I have used the epoxy and it is on good. Take a brush real quick. Get it off. Easy. See those spots there? It was like right at the seam, right? So I'm just trying to make sure I get those spots nice and filled in. It was making the seam a lot more noticeable too. Now that I've colored it in, the seam is not as noticeable. The seam of the hair. See, and then you gotta hit this. I pretty much want it to be good at all angles because I know people are gonna pick it up and move it around and look at it, you know. When people come up, they're like, ooh, and then they do this, you know. So you gotta make sure it's good from all angles. So what's up, Foxy Bro? Yep, you're watching at work. Are you dry brushing the highlight in the hair or spraying? So I'm probably going to start with just some spraying, some tones, maybe like some overall highlights. But then I'll use a little bit of a dry brush on certain spots just to create like a highlight tone. We're not going to do it across the whole thing, but just maybe like, you know, on certain waves or whatever, we'll create some nice highlights. But again, we don't want to overdo it, so we're just going to like do it carefully. So like right up in here. I also got a color in this where you said blue, but I was looking at it close and there's actually texture in there like it was meant to be the brush, but I'm gonna commit and I'm going to take your advice and I'm going to throw some shading in there to make it look like the, you know, the top of your hand or whatever. And I think that'll look pretty good. We're just going to full commit. We're going to acknowledge it was something else and we're just going to be like, no, I'm an artist and I'm going to change it. I'm going to make it my own. Right up in there. There you go. That's kind of the spot that was really bugging me, was right up in here. Oh, that looks a lot better. Cool. Alright, so let me just clean up this brush real quick. We can let that dry up for a second. In the meantime, we're going to spray in, or actually I'm going to lay in some dark green, but I'm going to mix in a little bit of black with our phthalo green here. So I'm going to take some black and put some on our paper here. And all I want to do is kind of hit this bottom trim and maybe like right in the crevices, like some of the deepest spots in her belly button, maybe these little pots right here. And I'm just going to use it to create like creases, right? Like the creases of the body. Obviously underneath the shirt, I just think it needs more defining shadow. and also a way of separating the shirt and the skin, giving it a little bit of more kind of lived in. So yeah, the hair color is awesome. The whole thing looks great, man. Right on. Thank you, Trevor. We're not really done with the hair, but we're getting there. Thank you, though. It looks like a glove cut out like a workout gloves would have. Yeah, that's what I thought. But there's actually a texture in there. So we're committed. We're gonna go in there, and if anybody ever gets close enough and goes, "Hey, what's that? Why is there's like that? You know, the same as like kind of like it is here. It's just not as noticeable." But it's definitely in there. Like the same as it is on her shirt, it's kind of in there. And yeah, I did it. It's so faint that you can't really notice unless you get up on it, but you can notice it. Alright, so I'm going to take this brush here and I'm just going to mix in some of this green and this black. And we're going to create a really dark like forest green. And this is a 3/0. I don't know what that means. 3/0. And I'm going to start by the most noticeable spot, which was the shirt to me. And I'm just going to go in here really finely. You see that brush? And we're just going to go in there real fine like. And this is just kind of also refining the edge of the purple, but at the same time, it's just creating that crease of where the skin meets the shirt. It doesn't have to be so noticeable, and honestly, the least noticeable it is, the better. But I do want to kind of subdue this edge of the green. Just ever so gently, see that? It'll also make the purple just a little bit more purple because the black and the contrast will build. And at the same time, the reason is because you see here along this crack, it kind of already has it because that's where the one piece meets the other. It doesn't really have that here. But it does look a lot more natural in the place where it has it, like around here. It just does look like the shirt is actually over the skin. And so that's all I'm trying to do, is just trying to keep the flow of what's happening on the statue and keeping it going, right? So since it's over here, I might as well do it all the way around the shirt. And that'll kind of create a nice look. And now this bottom piece, I'm just going to color the black of the shirt, the bottom of the shirt black. I totally said the back of the shirt, the bottom right there. Now if anybody gets super stiffler about like, hey, you know, like, yeah, well, the shirt is kind of just overlapping here. You're not meant to look at the statue from underneath, so yeah. But also this will kind of create a deeper shadow on her back because it'll absorb the light, any light that kind of comes in there. So when you look at it this way, you just get a nice deep shadow there. So let's just go finish this around. There you go. That looks pretty good. Now I'm just going to do really quickly and just the deepest spot in here and bring it out. And again, all we're doing is creating like creases. And we want it to kind of look natural. You see that? Just very finely. You can't barely even tell what I did. It's in the deepest spot. Go for the armpit now. Now the armpits, I know just from looking at people and stuff, a lot of people get these creases kind of going this way. And then we're going to just use our finger to just kind of blend it in a little bit. You see that? That's all we need. And then we're going to lay a little bit of highlights right over that, right? So we're going to kind of subdue it a little bit. But it's all we need is just build those creases. And if you look at the model, they're actually in the model too. So if you have a really good printer, you could probably actually, it'll print out with those creases in place. But that's all I need is just right there. Looks pretty good. Come around the inside edge of the shirt here. And it's all kind of, it'll clean up all that edge, and at the same time it's just going to make the whole thing just look a little bit more like the shirt is actually over her skin and it's not just one piece, right? Like it is one piece, so we want to try to break it up. See that? And just the simplest little touch really changes it a lot. I don't know how noticeable that is on stream. Now we'll leave the back alone, obviously, because we can't really hit that too much. But just in the area where you're going to see the main portion right here, that looks really good. I'm going to go ahead and hit the inside of the belly button. See, and this is the reason I do this, is because some of these spots, even though they have that dark green in there, they're not completely like dark, right? And that's all you want. I'm going to leave this area alone. Maybe we'll do just some regular phthalo green details. But for now, I think that looks pretty darn good. Also the ears, let's not forget the ears. So like the ear hole. Right. And it's just those little things that you do, and it just, the whole thing ends up looking a lot better when you're done. You just end up with those little things that weren't there. Cool. See that? So now I'm going to do some white. Just some straight white. Before we lay some colors down, I want to do some white. So we're going to obviously lay the white in for her eyes. We'll do white on her lips, so that before we do purple, there'll be a white base. And we'll lay a white base on the letters here at the same time. So, oh my gosh, I haven't even been paying attention. What's up, Martial Artistry? How's it going? I'm ordering a 3D printer next week. Yeah, nice. Foxy Brown, congrats on the 3D printer. Blue, thank you for the lunch money. Oh my god, Blue, what's up? Stephen Ward, what's up, man? How's it going? What's up, James Melton? How's it going? Yeah. Let me make sure I didn't miss anything else here. Oh yeah, okay. We got everybody. I think we got everything. Cool. So there we go. So now I'm just going to use a little bit of white. Like I said, we're just going to go over some things before we start laying in some colors. And again, it's just kind of laying down the base for what we're going to do now. Even these creases, we're going to still kind of lay some color over them, so they'll kind of get subdued a little bit. But it's just having that dark base, it'll really kind of just pop off the whole thing. Oh, the one thing that I did forget too is this chain piece. There's a chain piece that comes here. So I'm going to have to finish this piece off stream and add that in. But I totally forgot. I totally forgot, and I seen it today. I was like, oh yeah. It's like, oh, well, I'm going to have to go back and do that. So let's go in with some white here. We'll do her eyes. And this is all kind of like surgery work at this point. It's also small and precise things. Her eyes. You gotta come in here. Now, luckily, the Createx Wicked, the coverage on it is really good. All you gotta do is make sure you just get it in place and then let it dry. To the other eye. And we're gonna give her light purple eyes, since I guess it's purple. The purple eyes. But I feel like doing dark purple will just look not so good. So we're gonna do light purple. Make sure I get her lips. Go. Okay, we'll just let that dry. Maybe actually, just maybe a little bit longer. There you go. Just a little bit of adjustment. Good. It almost looks like she's laughing. I gotta show you. I gotta show you the laughing. I totally painted on some teeth on her. Look at her. She has teeth. That's what we're doing. Alright. Alright. So I got that pretty good in there. Oh, I'm also going to lay some white down on her fingernails, so that when we put the color of the fingernail in. Now this is one part that didn't print out very good. It was these fingernails and stuff, but it's not too noticeable. I just wish I had a actually, if I would have printed it out in PLA, it probably would have printed out okay, but because I'm using PETG, and I haven't quite got my settings to where it's like 100% detailed. It's pretty good, but I haven't really got them super precise. Yeah, they could probably be a little bit better, but it looks really good. If anybody is a stiffler about my fingers. And then I have to make a decision on this lettering. Is the paint you're using with the brush reduced? How far reduced? So all these paints in these little mini bottles that you see me use, these are all reduced about 10% to 15%. And they just kind of live in those bottles like that. So I'm just going to try doing the face first in white. And then we'll see what that looks like. And then I kind of have one shot, right? And then if I decide to like, oh, I want to do the sides, I'm committed on doing the sides at that point, because I have to lay a white base down. Just because I want the brightest, color to show through when I lay pink or when I lay green here. But oh yeah, look at the way that just doing the face of the lettering looks really good. Just doing the sheet right there. That looks really good. It made it stick out so much. Oh man, I don't know. I can't decide if I want to do this. The sides as well. Let me do the face of the Hulk. Oh boy, that looks good. Yeah, I think I'm gonna stick with just the faces of the letters and not the sides, because that looks really good. And now the contrast and the shadow from the sides on the gray, and even though that's just white, like that looks really good. Boy, that looked good. I'll show you the close up on the. I guess I should be over here, like, but this one doesn't have an autofocus, so this, yeah. Some more of this. Okay, cool. Yeah, I do like the way that it looks, just the faces of on it, so. You can't use brushes, that's cheating. That's funny. What's up, Bill? How's it going? Prayers for you in the Bronx. Yeah. Shout out to the people in the Bronx. Crazy gunman guy. It's like, what's going on, man? All right. So first, let's get our Limelight Green sprayed in. And then we could dry brush the hair a little bit. Then we could work in our light purple, right, which we're going to use. And then we could come in after that and do the eyes, which we're going to do the dark green that we have here. And her eyebrows will probably just be the phthalo green. We also need to finish up this hair, which is the phthalo green, and some highlights. So actually, before I continue with the hair, let me just get this this base of this hair with the detail brush, and we'll get all these little strands of hair. Then I gotta start filming. Yeah, I need a haircut as well. I'm just trying to get this finished up so that I can focus. I have a video that I want to do. And I think this video's been a long time coming. And I think a lot of people are interested. So, but I definitely have to clean myself up. I was just trying to get this finished up today, though, so I can just clear this area out. I do have some panels that I'm working on. Yeah, I don't know. Those are probably gonna stay secret until the reveal. I want this edge to look like the hair's coming out. And it doesn't just appear, right? Like it has to look like it's coming out of the head. Which is kind of why I'm just being a little bit particular about how I want this to look here. And good thing I did that little bit of pre-shading, because that looks really good. And then just bring these little strokes off the head there into the hair. It's really making the hair kind of stick out. Go. There you go. Oh geez. What's up, grass? What's up, Skull Squad? So I'm about to start painting a shitload of small paintings. Yeah, I hope she does pretty good. So she seems like a strong girl though, so go just a little bit of loving. Perfect. I'm just gonna hit the back here a little bit off the ear. Details, man. It's all in the details. Where's Gerald when you need him? Or even Steve, for that matter. Details! Alright. She's starting to look alive. Let me see how much. Let me get you guys in like this. Right. And whereas before, without the eyes and stuff, she looked really fake. Now that we have even the lips, even though they're white, it's all starting to look pretty good. You got your boxes? Nice, Chris. Hell yeah. Those things are really nice, aren't they? You know what sucks? I don't like... Well, I don't know. I try to avoid talking about... Whatever, man. I'm just gonna fucking say it. Well, I bought some guns, right? Not too long ago. I bought myself a new pistol and a rifle. And I've been wanting to go shooting, my guy. Right? Well, there's a few ranges around here. And here's where the fun part of owning a firearm comes in. So I've been wanting to go shooting. I bought some ammunition. I bought these weapons. And, you know, usually it goes... Whenever I've shot a gun, it's been like, you know, around family. They already have guns. We're out in some land, camping, whatever it is. We shoot guns. But I was like, oh, well, you know, it's time for me to get some guns. Went and got some guns. And now, like, I'm like, oh, I got to find a place to go shooting. Yeah, that's easier said than done. Around here, there is some shooting ranges, like I said, but they're, I mean, the one shooting range is like 40-minute drive away. The other one's like 40-something minute drive away. They're only open just like weird hours, or you have to have a membership. One club has a 1-year waiting list. If you're lucky, they say 1 year. And the other one has about a 3 to 4 year waiting list. Oh my gosh. And yeah. So I kind of have these things, and I really want to go pew-pewing, but I can't go pew-pewing because there is not much pew-pewing available. And that kind of sucks. And that's all I got to say about that. Alright, so we're doing just some little details here, the armpits. I know you guys can't see this, but it's just, you know, little things that I see. So yeah, we're gonna do those light. Well, actually, I can do the eyes. We'll do. We're obviously gonna do her eyelashes and stuff in black. I think I do want those bold in black. We're gonna do her eyes green. Oh, I said I was gonna do like purple, didn't I, at first? Well, whatever. Green is pretty good. I like green, especially because I thought about it and I just really thought some nice bright green Eyes would look really good. So again, just kind of starting to bring it all together. Look at that. Look at that. Mmm. They are pew pew in the streets. Having guns and not being able to use them, or living here and pretty much not able to have guns. Yeah. Yeah. So, like, me and Jess on Monday, Jess likes to hit gambling on her days off sometimes. So we went out on Monday and we take Violet to school, and our thing is like, oh, we'll take off, right? And then we'll be back by the time we have to get her from school or whatever. So up where the casinos are, it's like national parks and whatnot. So we looked up an area where it kind of like intersects with where we were driving. So, and supposedly shooting on national parks is, okay. Unless it's otherwise posted, right? So Jess is excited because around the area we're going, there's supposed to be like Mennonites and stuff. And so we go do our thing, and then afterwards, like, all right, it's kind of, we weren't even sure if we were going to go, one, because it was like really cold. But then finally we decided, okay, we're going to go. And so we go out there, and she's like, oh, the Mennonite camp's going to be here, da da da. Then we like get the road. We realize we're in the wrong type of vehicle for this situation. What's up, Jesus? Right on, James. We'll see you later, man. So, yeah. So we get out there, and we're driving this road, and I'm just like, man, I don't know, babe. Like, this road's pretty jacked. Like, it's, I don't know, that we're in a car. This looks like we might need some 4x4 or something to get in this, like, past here, right? And then finally we get to a point where it's like, okay, you're about to enter the national forest or whatever, but there's a big old sign. Big old sign. No shooting allowed either side of the road. It's like, oh, okay. So we turned back around, and yeah. I didn't realize I had to plan a whole camping trip just around, I just want to go do a little target practice. So yes, even though it is easy to buy a gun and own a gun, it is not quite so easy to go shooting said gun. And just easy. I honestly thought, I don't know why I didn't do research before this, but I honestly thought like I'd just be able to like, oh, there's a range, go to the range, get in, shoot some shots, and go. Now there is a couple ranges like that, but like the one in Colorado Springs, which is the Cheyenne Mountain Shooting Complex, it's $12 per hour for one, and for two, like I said, it's only open during certain times, and like I'd have to plan a whole day around it because it's gonna take me about an hour to get there, an hour to get back, an hour being there, so like 3 hours of my day just to go shoot my guns. The other one is about an hour in the other direction, and yeah, it's not paved road. It's like off-road, dirt road. So, yeah. I've come to the conclusion that I need a truck. That's where I'm at this point. It's like, oh, man. Never in my life have I felt like I needed a truck. Like I actually need this truck. And now I actually feel like I god dang need a truck. Like, it's always been nice, oh, you get a truck, blah, blah, blah. But now it just I'm actually, like, at the point where it's like, I need a truck. This is turned into a revolving door of like, oh, you want to do this one thing, but in order to do that one thing, you got to be able to do this whole other thing and this thing and that thing, and you got to have this and you got to have that, and and at this point it's just like, all I wanted to do was shoot the little paper targets with the thing and watch it go poo 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 poo, and it's not going poo 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 because I can't poo 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 poo. Otherwise, I'll get in trouble if I poo 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 in a place where I'm not supposed to poo 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 poo. You know, I'm poo 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 saying blah 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 blah. Yeah. Anyway, rant over. That's where I'm at. So if any of you guys has an extra truck laying around, you know, maybe even if it needs a little work and I gotta go pick it up, whatever. Max Brush accepts donations in vehicle form too. Vehicles are so out of control price right now. That's all I'm saying. Out of control price. Especially trucks, man. I didn't know trucks was out here like the price of houses. It's a little bit redonkulified for what a truck costs right now. But having a truck would also open up some opportunities for the business as well. I'd be able to take, you know, more gear to more events. Definitely would probably use it to go to the market more frequently because I could just load everything up. Just, that sounds like a good time. You can let off $100 of ammo in an hour easy. Yeah, that's what I want to do. Bill, don't tease me, man. I can't let off any dollars in an hour because I can't make it. I can't make it there. You should just be grateful that you can let off. So yeah, I was like, oh, home defense and all this, you know, and I was like, yeah, it's cool. You know, then I'm like, well, I don't even know if these guns work at this point. I haven't shot them. I haven't done anything with them. So, like, if something were to happen, and then it's like, oh, well, it jammed. Oh, well, that's great. I you know. Cool. So all I did was give her some nice veins all around the bottom there to make it look like she's kind of coming out of that concrete a little more. I hit the edge of the concrete with the phthalo green. I kind of gave some wrinkles. We get the hair in there. All good stuff. Now I'm going to spray in some light green. And we could go ahead and hit the hair as well and stuff. So I gotta say I miss my guns. Did you have to give up your guns in Australia or what? Oh man, that sucks. You rent a fully automatic and you could blow out $100 in a couple minutes. Oh man. Yeah, no, I'm not. Like, I'm not trying to, like, you know. Obviously, I'm not gonna go blow through $100. And yeah, I'm probably gonna be using a lot more 9mm than anything just because it's cheap. But I'm just saying, I can't even do that. I thought for sure that in town there would have been an indoor range where, you know, you could shoot everything. And there is some sort of indoor range here, but it only allows like certain kind of pistols or something, and you can't shoot a rifle there. And of course, I went and bought a rifle and a pistol, and they look really pretty in the case, you know. They look really nice in the case. All I know is if there was a range around here, like an in-town range, somebody, one of you investor types with some money, you know, probably make all kinds of money. Because every time I go to this gun place or anywhere, there's people buying guns. Apparently they ain't nowhere to go practice. So, that's all I'll be saying. No shooting $100 worth of ammo for me. That's all my art supply money. Oh, you did have to hand them in? Dude, what? Why? Why did they do that? What? Yeah, Marshall, I get you, man. It could get expensive, but like, to me, it would be more expensive if somebody like came in the house while we're there and we didn't have them. That's kind of where I'm at. And I do need to make sure they work, and we need to practice with them. And I've been trying to get the wife to go with me, right? That was the whole point of Monday, was for us to go together so that I could show her how to shoot, because that's kind of what I'm mostly worried about, because we've had some weird people around here. So that's all I'm saying. And you know, all I want to do, it's not like I want to go out there and shoot it every day or anything like that. I literally just want to go and test out my stuff, and I can't test out my stuff. And we even drove like on the outskirts of town, seeing if we could find like some empty open land or something. And yeah, the man, everything was fenced off, everything was closed off. You know, no trespassing signs and that kind of stuff. So I'm not about to go on just to some random property and just hop over fences to just shoot. Like that's the whole point, you know. I don't want to become the criminal to fend off the criminal. I'm just, you know, yeah. Anyway, I'm going to come in with the limelight green. I'm going to hit this little spot right here. I think that came when I was gluing them in. And all I'm going to do is just, it's really light. I'm just going to brighten up these little spots. So, let's see if I can zoom you in. Right, so like, I'm going to try to get you right there so you can see. Right, I already kind of did the tops right here, but I'm going to blend it in a little bit. I don't know how well the camera picks that up, but it's just ever so lightly, just making sure that these high points are truly the highest points. Right? Getting this collarbone over on this side. And then maybe we even just kind of drop in an overcast right there. And you see some of that overspray goes over that little crease. And that's perfect. I want to do some on her neck right here. And we're kind of just subduing a little bit of that dark green, but also at the same time using it to provide some definition. So as you can see, now it's just a little bit more subdued. It looks way too bright on the camera, to be honest with you. But there you go. Maybe if I zoom you out. Right, now let's see if we can do the same thing. Like right here, right? It's kind of coming out here. And you see it just slowly brighten up. You see that little spot? That's all we want. And we'll subdue a little bit of that right there. Right, just to give it some more lived in kind of look right there, but also bringing out that green. I want a really nice, like, radioactive green, you know, so. The licensing was stupid. Basically, you had to be a farmer to keep them. What? Why? You can't do what? Why did they take them away though? That's so dumb. I honestly feel like any country that takes the arms away from their citizens, I have to be. This is where I gotta be careful with my words. What is the word I'm looking for here? Should I say scared of its citizens? Afraid of what the citizens might do? Also being short-sighted, because it's also about what the citizens could do for you. You know, if anything, watching this this war that's unfolding in Ukraine with the Russians and Ukraine and stuff. If anything, you know, everybody always focuses on the war and what's happening, but I'm just a civilian guy, and granted, I'm like way deep in the middle of the country, so I'm not too worried about it. That's not why I got the guns, but somebody on the coast and stuff like that, that if like a country was to invade, like the people there defending their country, like that's worth more than any soldier that you pay to invade, right? Like that's the whole thing. Especially I would believe is if they had their own guns that they had already been practicing with, and they're defending their own land where they were already practicing on, you know, and then you get some guy that doesn't know the land, is being paid to be there and stuff, like, you know, it's also kind of like a home defense, but on a countrywide level, right? That's kind of where I'm at on that. So again, I'm not to be political or nothing. I feel like it's kind of like taking, if your country takes the guns away from the people, it's like taking the guns away from the police. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yeah, there's police, but if something bad happens, like they're kind of just gonna be there going, "We're the police," you know? Like it's not as scary, it's not as intimidating if they don't have something that could actually stop you, right? That's all I'm saying. And the same thing with the people. If the people are there and you're defending your area, again, it's a lot more scarier if the people have weapons and whatnot. Right, so I'm just doing a little bit of highlighting on this hair here. That's all I'm saying. Now, as to what type of weapons and what type of regulations and whatnot, I have nothing to say about that. I plead the fifth. I can agree, not everybody needs a gun. There are some people that maybe just don't need it. Like, and just there's a difference between like. No, not needing it is the wrong term. There are some people that should not be allowed to have a gun. That's kind of where I'm at. Now, I don't know what the answer to be to sift those people out would be, because I don't know how you detect crazy before crazy happens. But, you know, that we shouldn't let the crazies ruin it for everybody else. And that's kind of something where I believe, you know, especially like in all countries. I think every country, every person, no matter where you're at, you should try to convince your lawmakers to allow you to have guns. And it's a great country defense. And believe me, if other countries know that if they invade, the citizens might be armed, And hey, they're not just armed with, 22 caliber bullets or something. They have real guns that could do real damage. And they're crazy and they're going to defend their stuff. They probably wouldn't do it an invasion just willy-nilly. That's all I'm saying. Canada hasn't come in here trying to run nothing. Neither has Mexico. And they've been at our border for how long? I do believe at one point Mexico tried. I'm not sure if that's what the Alamo was about. I ain't no historian and such. But there was a mass shooting and that's all it took, huh? Ain't you near the mountain though, Mike? I'm not near the mountain. We had to drive an hour away to get to the mountains. I feel you, man. The national forest is right there. I could see it, but I can't touch it just yet. And I do need a truck to be able to get on to the back country, because here there are laws about you got to be, I think, 150 yards away from a road, from any building, and I don't know how, so you got to drive out into the wilderness. It is what it is, you know what I'm saying? But I wish I was closer to the mountain, to be honest. Alright, I'm mixing up some purple here. This is not looking purple enough. There we go. We're going to use this for her lips. But yeah, here in the U.S., I know there's always people complaining about the gun laws and such. Sometimes they are pretty stupid. Not gonna lie, here in Colorado, we can't have magazines over 15 rounds, which I just think is bogus. Bogus schmogus. But again, we have had some shootings happen here too, so it is kind of that whole thing. But I don't know, man. I don't know what the answer is. But I'm also one of those people that feels like if everybody had a gun, then people wouldn't be going around doing crimes with guns, because then they knew that if they fucked around, people might, just turn around and shoot them, because the probabilities of people having guns would be pretty high. I feel like that's what happened in the old Western times. And, yeah. But I could also see how some people get nervous around guns because they don't know the person with the gun. They don't know why he has a gun. And if you didn't grow up around guns and you don't know how guns function or what, you know, just seeing a gun and stuff could make you nervous. I've seen people get really nervous just because they see somebody like open carrying, which is legal here in Colorado. And yeah, so. I'm just using that light purple, laying that in on the shirt areas there. So it looks pretty good. What's up, babe?
Oh, I don't know what you're doing.
Really?
Yeah.
I was wondering why you hadn't said anything in the shot. In the shot? Why you have said nothing in the shot? Huh?
Why are you ignoring my text?
Why you don't say nothing in the shot? Hmm? Really?
I'll be back.
Where are you going?
Repeat.
Right on, Blue. We'll see you later. They're gonna be non-stop bombing Cheyenne Mountain. Yeah, no. I mean, they could try. I don't know. I don't know what the correct answer to that is. But, yeah. Alright, I'm just using some of this purple here. Create little tones on the gloves here. And they are like fabric, so I kind of just want to use the dry brush to bring that texture out a little bit. Right, to give them kind of more of a leathery type look. The dry brush is perfect for that. Cool. So that just changed up those a little bit. Let's not forget to shade those in. So let me go ahead and just do that real quick. Load up a little bit of the phthalo green and just shade up the hand part of the fingers. Then we can lay the limelight green in here for the lettering, and then we'll finish off with some hot pink. And then last but not least, we'll finish off the eyes with the black. I think she looks really good. I wish I had a little bit finer brush to do a little bit more work on those lips. And maybe I'll give it a shot, but I almost don't want to ruin it. It looks pretty good. It's just so small. Just need one little drop of this. Go. See that, just that little spot in there. go. Good. And actually, before I clear this out too, let's load up some gray. The thing I've noticed since the new gun laws is that gun-related violence has dropped. That's crazy. It's a tricky paint job. Can't stop the bastard flapping his wings. Ah, that's funny. That shirt painted in. Looks pretty good. You might have to go take a nap. Yeah, man. Definitely, I think a nap's in order at 3:30 in the morning. Alrighty, so I'm going to try to give the detail on these lips a shot. Going for perfection, but that looks pretty good. limelight green on here. Rinse this brush off. Alright, so I want to get, you see that dark green dot on the eye? I just want to get a nice little light green dot right over it. Right, so let me show you guys what that looks like up close. There. And then all we have to do is lay in the black pupils. So now we have the dark green around, we have the light green center, and we just do the black pupil. We have to do the eyelashes and the black pupil, and that's pretty much it for that. I'm going to do the green on the lettering for the Hulk, and then all we got to do is some pink on the sheet, the pink for the fingernail tips, and then the last will be the black there that I was just talking about. So let me just get this lettering colored in. That sticks out a lot. Ouch. I probably could have moved the camera. But look at how good that looks. Oh man, that looks really nice. Alright, let me get some hot pink going. And here's my little palette here. So let me get the hot pink actually out. Ugh. I had somebody tell me one time too, it's not called hot pink. And it's like, what does this say? I don't know what this is. If it doesn't say hot pink. A toothpick. That might not be a bad idea. I might just leave it for a different day though. Looks pretty good as it is. I don't want to screw it up. Just such a it's a really detailed point, and I don't know if the payoff is going to be worth the struggle, to be honest. So get some pink on here. Boom. Clean off this brush. Everyone is bailing. Mike will be alone if someone doesn't stay. Eh, man, it happens. This is kind of one of those impromptu live streams, too. So I'm surprised people showed up. And it's like odd time of the day. People are usually working. So I don't blame you if you leave, man. I know a lot of people aren't down with the 3D printing and stuff too, so it's all what you like. So let me get this lettering in. I'll probably go over this a couple times just so that we get a nice uniform coverage, because these fluorescent colors are kind of transparent, so you gotta lay them in a couple times, if not a few times, to really get them in there. So look at that. Let me get the fingernails. Cool. Oh boy. Oh boy. You guys see that? That looks good. That looks really good. The whole thing overall looks really good already. Alright. So now I'm going to very carefully color in the eyelashes. And luckily her eyelashes are like 3 printed in, so you don't have to do too much guessing. That's nice. I don't know if I'm going to be able to repeat that on the other side. do the pupil here. Oh my gosh. Let me show you. Are you going to put any clear coat on it? I was talking last time about maybe doing some of the semi-gloss for her skin. Oh no, what did I do here? I dropped some green. Oh, I'm going to have to patch that up. Where did I drop green from? Okay. There you go. Dang, that's some complicated stuff right there. That's details. Oh, that looks good though. Look at that. Woo, boy. Alrighty. Oh yeah, about the clear coat. I had thought about it, and then I don't know. I don't know if it really needs it. If anything, I'll put some matte clear coat, I think. Let me just hit some phthalo green over that spot. I think that's the last color we were using anyway, right? We were using gray. Just do a little bit of this. Get my dirty little paws all over it, I guess. Dirty little paws. Okay. Pretty darn good. What is it?
They can see me.
They can't see you until you get in there. Okay. Alright, so now I'm just going to dry brush some of the limelight green onto the hair. We're going to be Just really lightly over some spots. And we still have that phthalo green loaded in, so I'm gonna go over a little bit. It's quite okay. We'll go back. We'll subdue some of this out. I just want to create some highlights and some tones here. Just give that hair a little bit of life. Just like that. Go back with the green. Are you gonna, at least you could dust it easier. I think with clear, wouldn't get as dirty from handling it. Oh yeah, I guess. Like I said, I'll probably put some matte clear. And then I didn't finish spraying. I've been busy just trying to finish it. But what I had originally said was that I wanted to do the semi-gloss on the skin to give her skin kind of that, you know, a little bit of a shiny look, and then do the matte clear everywhere else. So I think that's probably still what I'll do. I'll let this dry though. Usually I let everything dry before I start putting clear on it like that. Sometimes it works out really good, like those ammo boxes. I just kind of did them, and then I put the clear on it right then and there, and it worked okay. But a lot of times I would recommend actually letting it dry, and you'll get a nice, more uniform finish afterwards. As well as you'll be sure you're not trapping in any moisture. But I'll probably let this sit while I work on something else, and then lay some. I'm thinking I'm just gonna put matte clear on this, just because it looks good already like this, just nice and matte. So that looks pretty darn good. Pretty darn good. All right. So let's get you guys in on this other camera here, and we can show you. Let me get all these out of the way so I don't make a mess. Make sure I clean off all my brushes that I used today. This thing out of the way before I put my hand in it or something. I know I will. Okay. Alright, so let me get you guys in close. You guys can see some that base with the rock. It came out really good with all the textures, and then when we go, you can kind of see on this side how it has that purple tone, but if you look at it from this way, it kind of has the light blue the same thing as we're going around. It has purple, right? But then as we go and we flip this way, it's like light blue. You see there? We got the writing sticking out. It looks really good. I think just doing the face of the lettering like that was the choice, was the right to go. Great way to go. Then we have her body. She's looking ripped. She-Hulk is looking ripped, boy. Her shirt with all the texture on it. All done. Then we got her face. Probably get you guys in more like this. See if it'll focus. There you go. I mean, that's pretty darn good, son. You have to get way up on the camera. Look at that. I don't think anybody's going to look at it that close. But we can. It was just because we can. Let's do microscope level of details. See the armpit there, that little detail on the armpit there. Focus, camera. Focus. There you go. It's so hard to spin it and keep it in focus. But this looks really darn good. I'm happy with it. I'm happy. Looks good. Oh man, that was actually quite a bit of painting, wasn't it? We did 3 live streams on this. It was like, whoa. But yeah, the next live stream will definitely be a how to airbrush live stream. I got a few of those planned up, so we've got to make sure we get those out. But I'm super happy with my bust here, the She-Hulk. And this will go next up to the other 3D printed items. And I'm really digging my shelf. My shelf is looking really good with all this stuff on it. So anyway, guys, I'll get out of here. Thanks for joining me on this early Wednesday stream. Yeah, that's pretty much it on the She-Hulk. I might come back in. I need to order some finer brushes still, and maybe we could get up in here in her lips later on or something. I just want to do the crease of the lips, and it would be superb if I could do like a lip liner or something. But it's so dang small. Like I don't think it even would make a difference. Yeah, that's just me. Other than that, though, it looks really darn good. I'm super happy with how this turned out. I'll be posting up some pictures here in a minute on Instagram, so if you're interested in seeing some good pictures, make sure you follow me on Instagram. Yeah, we'll see you guys all next time. Later, everybody. That's all I got today.